All right, 5.3. All right, going to talk about the same thing we've been talking about. Okay, going to do basically a lot of the same stuff. Today, what we're going to focus on, though, is instead of having, something like this, y equal 3x plus 5, and they're wanting you to find the slope, or they're wanting you to find the y-intercept. Basically, what they're going to start with today is they're going to start from the very basic problem, and that is to give us 2 points. For example, -1, -2, and 2, 6. Okay? They want us to take the 2 points and write an equation. Okay? And it needs to be in slope-intercept form. Okay? So they want us to write an equation, and they want to tell us what that line is that runs through those 2 points. Okay? The first thing you have to do is, step 1 is to find the slope. Okay, and so we're going to have to use y sub 2, y sub 1, x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Okay, so that's what slope is equal to. M is equal to that, S equal to that, whatever you want to use for your slope letter. Okay, so if we use this, we'll say this is x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so that's going to give me 6 minus -2 over 2 minus -1. Now, once again, these 2 numbers have to be together. Okay, these 2 numbers have to be together. All right, so that's going to give me a slope. On top, we're going to have 8. On bottom, we're going to have 3. So that's going to give me a slope of 8 over 3. Okay, so that's my slope. So I'm going to take this, and the second step is to put the slope and the coordinates of one of the points into my slope intercept form. Okay, so we have, remember, y equal mx plus b. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to plug the slope in. You've got y equal 8/3 times x plus b. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to find b to complete my slope-intercept form. Okay, that's what we're trying to do. Trying to find out what b is. I found the slope, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the point (2, 6) and plug the coordinates into the slope-intercept form. Okay, so that gives me y is equal to 8/3 x plus b. Here's what we're going to do. The 2 is x, the 6 is y. So that gives me 6 is equal to 8/3 times x, which is, 2, plus b. In other words, I plug this in there, and I plug that in there. That's all I did. I could have used the other point. In other words, I could have had this. I could have had the other point was what, -1 and -2. So you could have done this. -2 equal 8/3 times -1 plus b. You could have used either point. Okay, this was point -1, -2, and this is point 26. Okay, either one, you'll come up with the same answer. Okay, we're solving for b. Okay, we're solving for b. Now, most of the ones you're going to have in these problems are going to be fractions. Okay, your slope's going to be a fraction, and your b is going to be a fraction. So don't think you messed up. Okay, don't think you messed up if you're getting a bunch of fractions. Now, to solve this, then what we do is this. 6 is equal to 16/3 plus b. Okay, all I did is that right there. That's where I came up with 16/3. Just multiplied it out. Okay, now I have to take the 16 over to the other side. Okay, that gives me b equal 6 plus -16/3. And that is 6/1 plus -16/3 equal b. Now remember, you have to have common denominators. So obviously this would be 18/3 plus -16/3 equal b. And what is that? 2/3 is equal to b. So now I have the information. Okay, I have the slope. So I have m is equal to 8/3. I have b is equal to 2/3. So my slope-intercept form then is y equal 8/3x plus 2/3. And that's your answer. Huh? No, I'm not going to require you to graph it. Yes. Even though directions tell you to, I'm not going to require you to.
Is that 8/3x plus 2/3?
Alright. So let's look at another one. Try one here that maybe doesn't have some fractions in it. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. 0, -5, 3, 4. Okay, so that's my next one. So, first step, find the slope. Okay, so that's x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so that's going to give me 4 minus -5. Is that right? 4 minus, yep, okay. And that's going to give me 3 minus 0. So that is 9 over 3, which is 3. So my slope is equal to 3. So I take this and plug it into y equal 3 times x plus b. Okay. Now I'm going to use this point right here and plug it in. So that gives me negative 5 is equal to 3 times 0 plus b. This one becomes fairly simplistic. Negative 5 is equal to 0 plus b. So negative 5 is equal to b. So your answer is y equal 3x minus 5. I'm going to make this an m so we know. Now, anytime the x-coordinate is 0, anytime the x-coordinate is 0, then the other corresponding coordinate is your y-intercept. Okay? So you can tell here, negative 5, negative 5. Alright? Okay, let's see here. I want you to try 27 on your own. Plus negative 5. Negative 2 and negative 1. And then 8, 8. Huh? It's 28. Number 28. Brianna, what do you think? Very close. No. You're right there. You missed a negative sign. Kayla, what'd you get? Yes. Y equal 9 over 10x plus 4/5. Okay? Alright, let's look at it. First we start with the slope. M is equal to x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so that gives me 8 minus negative 1 on top. Then on bottom, it gives me 8 minus negative 2. So you get that, 9 over 10. Okay, so there's your M. M is equal to 9 over 10. Then that gives us y equal 9/10 x plus b. Now I'm going to use my point 8 and 8. Just simply because I stay away from the negative signs that are all in that other one. Okay, so if you do that, that gives me 8 is equal to 9/10 times 8 plus b. Okay, so I multiply that out, gives me 8 is equal to 72 over 10 plus b. Got to move this over here, becomes a negative. So it's a negative here because it was a positive there. So that gives me 8 plus negative 72 over 10 equal b. So that would be 80 over 10 plus negative 72 over 10 equal b, which is 8 over 10 equal b, which is 4 over 5 equal b. So now I plug in the two things, y equal 9 over 10x plus 4 over 5. Did you see where you made your mistake, Brianna, on your negatives? Or did you use the other 2 points? So you used, what was it, -2, -1? So if you use that would be -1 equal 9/10 times -2 plus b, right? So that would give me -1 equal -18/10 plus b. Here it's a negative, so here it becomes a positive. So that gives me -1 is plus 18/10 plus b, or excuse me, equal b. And so that is -10/10 plus 18/10, which gives me positive 8/10, which is 4/5. So that's how it would have worked if you did it that way. Yep.
What did you just say?
Huh?
You said that it was negative. You said that it was -2/1, and then it was.
Hey, -2/1. What? I said it was 9/10 times -2. Yeah, you could cross cancel. Yeah, you could take -2/1 times 9/10 and cross cancel here. That'd be 5. It'd be 1. So it'd be -9/5. You could do that. Like?
Can you get it wrong if you don't simplify it?
Yes. Yeah, if you leave it as 10 over whatever it was, 8/10, it's going to be wrong. You got to simplify it down. Any other questions before we move on? All right, now let's look at one. Let me see if here I can find what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for, but I'll do it anyway. Let me make sure here. All right, number 40. Number 40 says -7 and 9, -3 and 8. So we have x1, y1, x2, y2. Remember, they could be flipped. You could have x2, y2 first, and it doesn't matter. Okay, it's just a matter of making sure you keep the coordinates with their pair on top and bottom. Is the only thing that matters. So if we do the slope here, that's going to give me 8 minus 9 on top. And then on bottom, that gives me -3 minus -7. Okay, and that gives me -1 on top and +4 on bottom. So my slope, m is equal to -1/4. So y equal -1/4 x plus b. Now this one is not going to matter. You got negatives in both of them, so I'll just use this point here. So that gives me 8 is equal to -1/4 times -3 plus b. And that gives me what? -3/4, actually +3/4. 8 is equal to 3/4 times, or excuse me, plus b. Take my 3/4 over here. If it's a positive here, it becomes a negative there. So that gives me 8 plus negative 3 over 4 equal B. Not plus B, B. Oh, went down on me. That would be 32 over 4 plus negative 3/4. Which is, what is that? 29 over 4. 29 over 4 equal B. So that means y is equal to negative 1/4 x plus 29 over 4. Yeah. Yeah, reduce it. If the improper fraction will reduce that to its lowest terms as an improper fraction. But we don't ever really, if they're going to give it to you, I think there's one in here that's a decimal. Yeah. Number 44. In a minute, I can't remember what I gave. If I gave you 44, we aren't not going to do 44. That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
One of the fractions is 24,159 over 4,732. That's ridiculous. Alright, now, let's look at, everybody open your book, look at page actually we're not going to look at 48. I want you to open your book and look at page 286. I want to look at example 2. So I don't want to do 48 because that's one of the ones you got to do, and it's the only one like it. So I don't want to do it because I want you to be able to do an actual problem. Example 2 says write an equation of perpendicular lines. Okay. A says show that, this is example 2, page 286. Okay, it says show that line segment AB and line segment BC are perpendicular sides of figure ABCD. Okay, so they basically have given you this figure, like something like this. Okay, let me redo that line there. Alright, and they've said this is A, B, C, and D. So what they're wanting you to prove is that AB, this, is perpendicular to this. So they're wanting you to prove that it's a 90-degree angle. Okay? Now, to do that, you do what we've been doing. The point here is negative 6 and 1. The point here is negative 4, negative 3. Okay, and then the point on C is 2 and 0. So what you've got to do is you've got to do two separate lines. Okay, and so what I've got to figure first is take the 2 points. So I'm going to look at line AB. Okay, and I'm going to come up with the equation of that line. So I take negative 6 and 1 and negative 4 and negative 3. Then I'm going to come up with line segment BC. Okay, I'm going to come up with an equation there. So this is this one, there's that one. So over here I'm going to use negative 4, negative 3, and 2, 0. Okay, so I want to come up with the equation of a line, slope-intercept form, for those two lines. So we do the same thing we've been doing. We got to take x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, and so that's going to give me on top negative 3 minus 1. On bottom it gives me negative 4 minus negative 6. Okay, on top then that would give me what? Hang on here, that's 1 negative 6. Oh, hang on here, hang on. Oop, I reversed the bottom one. Hang on. That's right. Alright, so negative 4 on top. I'm not going to need one. Yeah, well, I've got a toolbox, so we're doing tools, or changed it, so I won't need one. Thank you. Negative 4, and then on bottom, what do we have? 2, so that's plus plus, so that's 2. Whoa, wow, didn't want to do that. So, that gives me m is equal to negative 2. So, y equal negative 2 x plus b. Now take one of the points, plug it in. We'll say 1 is equal to negative 2 times negative 6 plus b. And that gives me 1 is equal to 12 plus b. Take the 12 over here, it becomes a what? A negative 12, which means that is b equal negative 11. So this one is y equal negative 2x plus negative 11. What? Now I got to come do the same thing on this one. So x1, y1, x2, y2. And so that gives me 0 minus negative 3 on top. And that gives me 2 minus negative 4 on bottom. And that is equal to 1/2. So that gives me y is equal to 1/2 x plus b. Now I can stop there. Okay? I'm not going to... What you need to know for perpendicular is these two things. You need to compare the slopes. No, because it's the slopes that matter. Okay? If the slopes are the opposite and reciprocal of each other, the lines are perpendicular. Okay, so the slope of one, m is equal to negative 2 and m is equal to 1/2. So, is 1/2 the reciprocal of 2? Yes. Is a positive opposite of a negative? Yes. So those two things are true. So yes, it is perpendicular. Not always. Huh? Well, you have to prove that. Okay? So, that's how you do find out whether a line is perpendicular or not. You basically just take the 2 points, come up with 2 line equations of the line, and put them in slope-intercept form and check the slopes. Realistically, all you really have to do is that step right there. Realistically. Because it's dependent upon the slope. Okay. All right. Your homework. I've got to look at it again.
Let's have like 21 to 35.
What's called the 36?
21
1 through 5
All right. 18 through 44 even. 18 through 44 even.
Is that it?
Hang on here. 5.3, 18 through 44 even, and
Wow.
48 through 57.
48 through 47.
Yeah, it's 10 of them.
And I want to look at the back. Come tell.
Huh? No. For Larry, where he's doing 5.30000 equal 18 through 44 even.
Oh.
17 through 44 even?
Yeah, let's do all for Larry. Actually, this is, remember, don't do 44. So it's really 18 through 42 even. All right.